Hey everyone. I'm jumping in here a little late on a Monday for a memoir minute. I've been on a field trip most of the day doing the mom thing with my kiddo. So, as a reminder, I'm Allie with The Right Place, Right Time, award-winning author and international book coach and developmental editor. And ghostwriter, and memoir is my jam. So each week I drop a short memoir minute video to teach you about memoir a couple minutes at a time. And we've really been talking about crafting a emotionally compelling memoir for several weeks now. And I've been giving some key creative writing tips and tricks to make sure that that memoir sings and really packs an emotional punch for your reader. Today, the title is The Quick and the Dead or Dances with Wolves. Doesn't really matter if you haven't seen either of those films because it's a figurative metaphor here. I'm not actually saying that you should write like The Quick and the Dead or Dances with Wolves, but I want you to be thinking about pacing when it comes to your scenes, the individual scenes within chapters, or the arc as a whole. And I kind of touched on this a little bit in last week's video when we were talking about ensuring that you get out of the car first. Now, for today, what we're really talking about is, sometimes things happen fast and furious. And when you want another movie reference, and you want the reader to feel the pace, the quickness, the speed at which something is happening. And so it might look like short staccato lines of dialogue if people are firing off responses back and forth. Maybe they're in an argument and there's a lot of yelling. Maybe they're whirling something across the room and then they're storming out, right? You can make a scene be written in a way that it's as if you're in that hurried state, the way that it actually played out in real life. Other times, you might want something to feel a little bit more drawn out, a little bit slower. You're walking and you're smelling the roses kind of thing. And for those types of scenes, you might incorporate some internal dialogue or some commentary and exposition in between dialogue and action to make the moment in time stretch and feel like it's a lot longer. So that's from the scene perspective, right? Figuring out how to use your dialogue, your action, your sensory details, your internal thought to make a scene feel really fast and speedy and intense, or a little bit more slow and pensive. It still could be intense, but taking up more time and space. Now, when it comes to your narrative as a whole, so the whole book kind of cover to cover, chapter 1 to chapter whatever, you want to be thinking about, how quickly are you dipping in with things and then dipping back out, and we're getting to some sort of conclusion. If you're setting up the problem in chapter 1 and it's concluded by chapter 3, then you haven't stretched things out and you've probably done way too much telling and not enough showing, right? Because a lot of us can summarize some main events in a few pages, but when we are helping the reader to step into the moment with us through a scene, it draws out the narrative over a much longer period of time. So we really want to be paying attention that, let's say we're covering a 10-year span of our lives in our memoir, that we don't feel like they're over in the blink of an eye, and that we haven't set something up and resolved it in, a handful of pages. So you want to be paying attention to the arc and the structure of what you're doing and the story that you're trying to tell, so that readers feel like they're engaged the whole time and it's not taking forever, but also like it's not over in the blink of an eye. So if you want to chat more about these things, like, well, how do I do that exactly? What does that look like on the page? Then I'd be happy to do a short one-to-one with you. I offer a free 20-minute story stroll. This is a chance for us to just be in conversation about your book project specifically, figure out what's stumping you along the path to publication. It's really a service to you. So if that interests you, please DM me or leave something in the comments. And then, of course, don't forget to grab your free copy of the 5-Step Writing Guide to Starting and Finishing Your Memoir. This gives you the bird's eye view of all 5 steps along the path to publication that you're going to want to walk through. I would love a chance also to tell you about the Memoir Blueprint, which really doubles down on all the information you can get from the Memoir Minutes and setting you up with a strong foundation for writing your book and feeling really confident and really in control of that process. So there you have it. Drop comments below the video if you want to chat about any principles from this Memoir Minute. And otherwise, I'll be back again next week with another one.